I did this seminar last week, and it's all week long for like 6 days, you know, from god awful early in the morning to late in the evening. And so there's all kinds of different presenters and things, but there was quite a bit of points that kept coming up, and a lot of them were not so positive. And like I said, the market's been yucky. Everybody's kind of bummed out about it. The news is yucky, all that sort of stuff. So I was kind of posing that question: is everybody just getting really bummed out? But most people still seem to think there's some positive outlook on things, even though right now it might sound yucky. But so I was going to kind of run through some of these highlights that I got out of this seminar, just to kind of point on them, a little bullet points. They did talk about the market is looking pretty ugly, 34 straight weeks of new lows. So it is going down. The S&P has an overhead of supply, which means supply and demand. We need demand to be higher than supply in order to really change it. So it still has the potential to fall more. Europe's in the same boat, right? Their market is falling way back to 2000, 2007 levels. Gold and silver, those are all making new lows. They keep falling down. So I'm going to hit on a couple of these bullet points. This one was about the 34 weeks of new lows, right? You can see this chart that they have. The blues are the highs and the oranges are the lows. So this is 2022 right here. And you can see how far we've fallen as compared to back to 2008, 2009, which is kind of a scary number. More scary to me is that it tends to be a double bounce, right? It isn't just a one big point. It's possible 2023 could be just as ugly or worse. And so keep that in mind while we're really hoping for a rally. I don't know, it could get worse, the inflation and all that sort of news that they keep putting out there. But on the positive side, when it does get done, you get these great spikes up of recovery. So we'll we'll look towards the positive of that. Speaking of the down is going to keep happening pretty much as this inflation keeps going up. I found this image, which I thought was really interesting until I tried to follow the dates, and I'm like, what? It's going all over the place. There's January, there's March, November before that. I mean, it's not real consistent. So apparently you have to follow the little white line that drags you around here. But the point is the inflation's just rising and continue to rise. And in June, it's even up even higher, right? So the feds are going to report at the end of the month. They're going to raise rates, of course, because the inflation keeps going up. So the economists are saying a 0.75 or even a whole point rate hike. Analysts are hoping for 75 or lower, right? So if it comes in around 75, the market will probably just stay the same. You're not going to have much of an impact. Obviously, if it gets below that, the market will be thrilled and everything will skyrocket. And if it goes above that, it will probably tank again. So if you're about to buy into something this week or early next week, I'd be really cautious to wait and see what the Fed does. So also in the seminar, they were talking about the industries and which industries to keep your eye on. And one of them was industrials, financials, and emerging markets. Those three they were watching because they were at very good, I guess, support points. And this graph here shows Caterpillar, which represents the industrials. Goldman Sachs represents the financials, right? And you can see these support lines right here. So if we just keep our eye on both of these stocks, it might be able to tell us if industrials are going to turn around or financials are going to turn around. So I thought I would throw it out here just so we have it kind of on our radar, and maybe in like 2 weeks we go back and take a look at those and see if they broke down through those support lines, or if they were holding them or even trending upward, because if they're trending upward, that's going to be good for us. So oil and gas, this was an interesting one. I don't know if any of you pay attention at all to what's going on with Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett, but oil and gas seems like it's really peaked out, right? And the gas prices are kind of starting to settle or come down, and most of the charts look like they've been really high, and they're starting to correct and all this sort of stuff. But amazingly, Buffett's been buying Oxy. He's been buying for a couple weeks now, and he is picking up 2 million shares at a time or more. He's got several $billion now invested into Oxy, and he's accumulated over 28% of this company. So I don't know if I don't know what he knows, because when I look at this chart, it really looks like a head and shoulders to me. It looks like it's going to correct and go down, but he's been buying it up like crazy. So maybe he knows something that we don't know. But I'm definitely keeping my eye on it, and I'm watching it. And I know we've talked about, I call it SWAN, but it's Southwestern Energy. We've talked about SWAN, which is, it's a cheaper stock for you guys, if anybody wants to be below the $10 mark, because that one I believe is, let's go look at SWAN real quick. Let's see. Yeah. So, and we've obviously been looking at this before because I have some drawings on here, but it's below $7 right now. So, and it's in the exact same industry as Oxy is. So I don't know, if you want to follow what Warren Buffett does, you can either buy Oxy or buy SWAN and wait and see what he knows. But he's dumping a lot of money into it. So I just thought it was intriguing. Let's see, crypto's been falling a lot for a long time. And all of a sudden it's making a big move, or Ethereum's making a big move. So this is a daily chart right here of Ethereum. And you can see each one of these days, it was climbing like 15%, 20%. I mean, it was really just moving up. It almost doubled its money in like 5 or 6 days, which is a huge move. And Bitcoin was moving along with it, not quite as extreme. But again, these experts are saying this is all smoke and mirrors. It's not really going to keep going up. Don't get all excited. This is just some fluff. So they're kind of warning that this upward momentum right now is not going to continue, which is unfortunate for me because I own some Ethereum. So I was kind of hoping it would go, but I'm going to be continue to watch that one.